here. Okay, so we're going to roll the shoulders. A big circle of shoulders. Get as much movement as you can through them. Now we're going to change direction opposite way. Again, big circles all the way around. Three, two, one. Okay, we're going to drop the head all the way around. We're going to get front, change direction, bring it back. Big circles all the way around and all the way back to the front. Loosen out the neck. Three, two, and one. Okay, hands on the hips, feet shoulder apart. We're going to move through our hips. So when you get to the front, bring it back the opposite way. Try to move through hips as much as possible, really rotating through. All the way around and all the way back. Okay, one more each direction. From there, bring your feet together, bend the knees, and again, we're circling through knees and back. All around and all the way back. Make sure we're keeping our back straight here as well. Come back and around. 3, 2, 1. And then last one here, we're going to go out onto the toe and again, all the way around, all the way back. Big circle. Move that ankle as much as you can. I'm going to swap to the other side. Again, all the way around. I'm back. Okay, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Okay, we're going to start with a few neck stretches. So put one arm behind your back. Then bring one hand and bring it to the opposite side of the head. And you're just going to pull it till you feel a little bit of tension. We're just going to hold it there for 10 seconds. You don't want to pull it too far, just very gently, about 30% pressure. Feel that stretch inside the neck and across the top of the shoulder. Inhale. Exhale, bring a little bit further. And once more if you can, inhale. And exhale, try and bring it a little bit further. Again, we don't want to force it, we're just lightly trying to find some pressure to open up the neck muscles. 3, 2, 1. Bring it back, we're going to swap it over, so off the side, and again, just going to bring it very lightly to one side as much as you can. Want to feel a little bit of stretch, we don't want to feel pain or tension, just light stretch. Inhale, exhale, see if you can bring it a bit further. Once more. See if you can go a little bit further. Just holding it there. Three, two, one. Let it go. Shake it out a little bit. We're going to bring one arm across the body and just hook in. Make sure we're on either side of the elbows, not on the joint, and just pull in towards yourself. Again, if you feel you can, bring it a little bit closer. If you can't, don't worry. And then again, a little bit closer. Let it go. Shake it out. Bring the opposite side again, just till you feel that first little bit of tension. Make sure we're not on our elbows or either side. Just pulling towards it, feeling that back of that shoulder stretch out. If you can, bring it a little bit closer. And once more, a little bit closer. Okay, let it go. Shake it out. I'm going to bring one arm over across the back of the head and just pushing down on the elbow, keeping your head up. Just push down as far as you can. Again, we just want a little stretch here. Don't force it. Should be able to keep the head up as well. Now, if you can, you're going to bring one hand around, the other hand around, and see if you can get your fingers to touch. Don't worry if you can't reach, just reach them towards each other, okay? We're trying to get a bit of stretch in the front of our shoulder as well. If you can't hold hands, just push your hands close together. 3, 2, 1. Let it go, shake it out. We're going to bring the other arm around and down. Remember with these as well, you might find on one side you can and one side you can't. One side's easier than the other, that's completely normal. We're just pushing that into that stretch first, nice and lightly. From there, we're going to reach around, and if we can, again, we're going to bring our hands together. Holding hands. If you can't, don't worry. This side for me is much easier than the other side. Four, 3, 2, 1. Let it go. Shake it out. Okay, let's grab that band. We're going to start with bringing our band wide here. Okay. Bring your shoulders around. Just bring as far back as we can and forward. So all the way around. If you can't, don't worry if you can't. If you're just getting to about here, don't worry. If you have a towel as well, it won't give you a stretch. Sometimes with band, it can go a little bit further. It can stretch out a bit. It's a little harder with a towel, but we're just bringing around and back. Just trying to get as much rotation through our shoulders as we can. Again, don't worry if you can't get the whole way around. The goal here is to just get as much as we can. And even if you get to the point where you can't go any further, keep it there for a second. 3, 2, and 1. From there, let's hold that band over our head or towel, and we're going to try and pull our elbows to our side as much as possible and push back up. So we want lots of tension here, pulling down and pushing back up. If you're finding that too easy, bring your hands in closer. We're pulling our elbows to our sides. Squeeze and keeping that tension as we come back up. We're going to do 4. 3. 2. One last one. And back up. Okay, a little shake out the shoulders. We're going to bring our hands down in front of us and we're going to pull our elbows back and squeeze. So keeping our hand position high, we're pulling our elbows back and squeeze. So try and keep those elbows up high, pull, squeeze. And we're activating the back of our shoulders here, so want this roughly between our chest or collarbone. Squeezing the elbows back, bending the arms in this one. 4, 3, 2, and 1. Bring it down, shake it out again. We're going to bring it a little bit lower now, so this will be a little bit more into our lats. And again, with elbows come back, squeeze back. Try to get those elbows to pinch together each time, or shoulder blades. 4, 3, 2, and 1. Okay, shake it out. We're going to bring ourselves down to the mat here. So we're going to start by lying on our back. I'm going to do a few little glute activation exercises. So we're literally just going to lie flat, arms by your side, and you're just going to squeeze your bum and let go. So we're aiming to squeeze these muscles, let go, squeeze and let go. Squeeze, go. Trying to get them to activate. Can be simple exercise, but also hard to do as well if they're not used to activating. Can help with issues with your hip, knees. Get these guys firing. We're going to need 4 more. Okay, from there, we're going to go one at a time. So you're going to squeeze one side and the other side, one side and the other side. So you can see which side of my hip is lifting because I'm squeezing and engaging. You want to be able to do that. You might find one side is harder than the other to feel engagement. We're not trying to lift our hip at all. We're squeezing which will push us up, okay? If you're finding one side is harder than the other, hold it for longer. So hold it for maybe 2 seconds. If you're not feeling as much of an activation, then let go. I find my right is harder to engage. Breathe through each one. The last few here, we're going to go hold it for 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Let it go off the side for 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Let it go off the side again for 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Back to our first one, or our second one, sorry. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. So we're going to go again. We're going to do 2 more on each side. 3, 2, 1. Onto our first one, or our second one, sorry. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. And again, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Last one here. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Okay, we're going to flip over onto our side here. So you can rest your head on your hand. Legs are straight, so on a straight line from our hip to our knee to our ankle. We're going to pull our core in and we'll lift one leg up and slowly lower. So exhale, lift up. Inhale, lower. Try and do this as slow as you can. Keep it really controlled. Keep the core really tight. Making sure these muscles on the side of our hip are engaging. We're lifted up, slowly lowering. We do 4, 3, and our last one, we're going to hold it up. 2, and 1. We're going to hold it up now for 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. We're going to slowly lower and bring it across the body. So knee is bent, other leg is straight, and we're going to push the inside of the foot up towards the ceiling and lower. Exhale, lift up. Inhale, lower. Slowly lower. Four, 3, 2, and 1. Let's swap over to the opposite side. So again, we're going to be resting our head on our arms on the ground and straight line the whole way through the body. And we're going to lift up and slowly lower. Breathe through each one. And keeping it really controlled as we lift up, slowly lower, activating those outside muscles along the hip here. Breathing through each one. Four. Remember, we're going to hold it up for 10 after this. 3, 2, and 1. We're going to hold it up for 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Bring that knee across into the mat. And we're going to keep that bottom leg and we're going to push that up towards the ceiling and slowly lower again. Up as high as we can, slowly back down. The control the whole time. 4, 3, 2, and 1. Okay. We are going to go back onto our back. So I'm going to grab our band or a towel again. I'm going to hook it round one leg. And we're just going to pull it up till we feel our first area of bind. So just up as high as we can. Remember, we don't want to force it. So just as soon as you feel a little bit of a stretch, I'm going to stop there. Try and pull your toe towards you as well. Get a little stretch into the calf, which is our lower leg. Hold there for a few seconds. Now we're going to inhale and exhale, bring it a little bit further. If you can. If you can't, just stay where you are, don't worry. Goal is to slightly increase it, let the muscle stretch out. You don't want to force it. We're not putting a huge amount of pressure into this either. We're going to go again, inhale, exhale, bring it a little further. And then again, if you can, bring it once more closer. If you can't, don't worry, just stay where you are. Again, we don't want to force this. We want to feel a light stretch in the back of our leg. We don't want any pain. We don't want to over force it into a stretch. So the muscle will fight back. Three, 2, 1. We'll let it down for a second. We're going to bring it into our inside hip now. So we're going to bring it out and let our foot fall towards the floor as much as we can. With this one, you can have your feet closer to the ground, like closer to your ankle, or the more you pull it up closer to your ear, the more you're going to stretch it. So just stay where it's comfortable for you and as close to the ground as possible. And we're stretching the inside of our thigh here. If you want to slightly intensify the stretch, you can pull it a little bit higher. Again, completely up to you. You don't have to. This one is probably only so far we can go with. Unless you're a gymnast, which I'm not. Once more, I'm going to try and bring it a little bit closer to you. Again, don't worry if not. And I'm going to inhale, exhale, bring it up. So we're going to bring it up again and over across the opposite side of the body. So again, this one we're just getting it as low as we can. My leg gets in the way, so we can't get the full way down. But again, with this, if you want, you can pull your toe closer to your face. Get a bit more of a stretch into it. Again, don't force it. Breathe the whole time as well. And hold for 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Bring it up and let it go. I'm going to hook into the opposite foot now. Again, with these, like all, you might find one side's easier than the other. One is tighter than the other. This is generally my tighter side. So we're just going to bring it up to our first area bind again and just hold it there into that stretch. And let those muscles gradually loosen out. And if you feel comfortable, inhale, exhale, bring it a little bit further. Trying to get that calf muscle into it as well, so try and keep that toe pointing down. That's our lower leg, lower knee. So if you feel a stretch along there as well, that's all right. Trying to get the whole back of our leg here. Okay, inhale, exhale, bring it a little bit higher. And we're just holding in that stretch. And then if you can, bring it up once more. Don't worry if you can't, if you're at your end point, just stay there. Getting what is most comfortable for you. We don't want to force a stretch here. Okay, from there, inhale, exhale, let it down for a second, and then we're going to go up and let that foot fall out as much as we can. And getting that stretch into the inner thigh here. Okay, we're just first sitting into that stretch, feeling the initial stretch. From there, if you want, if you feel comfortable, you can try and pull it closer to your ear. If not, just stay where you are. Again, instead we don't want to force this. Gravity will pull you down into the stretch, so we're actually supporting it with the band. And again, if you can move a little bit closer, do, and of course, if not, just stay where you are. Four, 3, 2, 1. Bringing that back up and letting it go across the body now. Again, just as far as you can get with it. With this as well, you can pull it closer to your face if you want, but just starting that first stretch. It's nice and comfortable for you. Just feel a light stretch. If you can, bring it slightly closer. And again, if you can bring it a little bit further once more. Lift it up slightly. Again, we're not forcing it into a stretch that your body's not comfortable with, just where it's comfortable for you. And 3, 2, 1, and lift it up and let it out. Okay, so we're going to flip over into our box position here. First time we're there today. Hips should be feeling nice and loosey-goosey now. I'm going to do the front of hips just before we finish. And we're going to start in our box position, so make sure there's a straight line from our shoulder to our wrist and our hip to our knee And we're going to roll our shoulders back as much as we can and roll them forward. Big circles all the way in both directions. Four, three, two, and one. Okay, from there we're going to drop the head, tuck the hips, push it back up towards ceiling, if you can, and all the way back down, and push that back up, go all the way back down. As much room through the spine here as we can. Number 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Okay, from there, let's bring one leg out, one arm out, just reach out as far as you can. We're going to pause for 2 seconds. Try not to rotate as much as possible, and then we'll swap to the other side. I'm going to pause for 2 seconds again, swap it over. Make sure we're engaging our core here to avoid as much rotation as possible. Squeeze and hold. There we go. Pause each time, hold. And pause each time. I'm going to go 2 more each side. Just make sure we're pausing, holding that position. Swap over. And once more. Engage that core as much as possible. And down. Let's sit back onto the heels, just pull our hands forward. Walk your hands out one side. And get no stretch on the side of the back. Bring it back to center. Walk it to the opposite side. Back to center. I'm going to bring it back up. And we're going to come up onto our knees. So we're going to step one leg forward, one leg back, squeeze the glute, and we're going to push that knee up over the toe, step back off, slowly moving through this. If you feel your hips start to open up, you can try and go a little bit further. The goal here is to make sure we're upright and we're standing flat on that foot. Squeeze up and back. That's what you need. Just keep that going. Opening up the front of that hip. And on our next one, we're going to push forward. We're going to stay in that lengthened position. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Bring it up. I'm going to swap it over. Opposite foot goes forward. Again, we're going to squeeze slightly forward, just as much as comfortable. Come back up. Squeeze that glute from behind. Nice and forward. Stand back off it. Open up that hip. Again, if you can, go a little bit further each time, and if you can't, don't worry. And on our next one, I'm going to push it into that lengthened position. And we're going to hold it for 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. And slowly back up. Okay, we're going to stand up, interlock fingers behind the back, push your shoulder blades together, and just lift up as high as you can. Keeping our head up and our chest forward. And swap it over, pull forward, push shoulder blades as far apart as you can. Okay. We're going to lift up, push up right towards the ceiling. Lean out to one side, again, get a nice stretch down our side. Feel all the way down your side. Go back to center. And across to the other side. Again, you might find one side stiff than the other, you get more of a stretch on one side, that's alright. Bring it back to center, let it go, and you're done, guys. Well done. That was the last little bit there.